Hello, my name is Woody. This is Change in the House of Pods, a podcast about Deftones. Today, my guest is Miguel Sanchez. Miguel lives in L.A., and a couple of weeks ago, he flew here to Minneapolis, and before we caught Deftones at the Armory for the final night of their tour with Gojira, we drove to Milwaukee together to see Deftones at the rave. We caught the sound check, we rode the rail, Chino screamed in our faces, we listened to Deftones the entire ride there and back, and then we went to a Twins game and got super hammered the night before we recorded this conversation. And you're going to be able to tell, by the way, it sort of took us a minute to get going. But it was so much fun. And we're going to talk about that entire trip in this podcast and more. You'll hear about Miguel's first time seeing Deftones at Ozfest and how Slayer tried to ruin it. Miguel and his sister are in the Hexagram video. You're going to hear about that. You'll hear the hilarious story of how he scored tickets to see Deftones at the Roxy in Hollywood. Thanks, Wiener Schnitzel. But the coolest shit about this conversation isn't even the conversation. It's what the conversation means. It's what talking about Deftones has done. Miguel is, without question, one of my best friends on earth, and I met him because of Deftones, because of this podcast. Whereas 20 years ago, when I felt like I was the only one I knew who loved Deftones, now I feel like I have some really amazing friends because we love Deftones. People I talk to online every day, or some of my guests, people like Jeff Cagle, who was on season 1. Miguel and I got to meet Jeff in person the night this podcast was recorded, after the show in Minneapolis. Jeff actually went to the venue early that afternoon and talked to Steph and Chino. He really wanted to give Chino this Prince hat that he got at a Twins game. He held on to it for like 3 years, waiting to give it to Chino. And he did it. How cool is that? And because this conversation was recorded before we went to the show in Minneapolis that night, I should tell you, it was so amazing. So we rode the rail in Milwaukee, but we were at the very back of the building in Minneapolis. And it was such a tremendous thing to get to experience the show both ways, because it truly was a spectacle. And in Minneapolis, we got to hear Beware, where we didn't in Milwaukee. And we got to see Chino join Gojira to sing Territory by Sepultura. That was awesome. And the Gojira guys stormed the stage during Deftones' encore. Man, it was just so great. It felt like closure in some ways for me, like the closure I needed to end the pandemic, or this experience of making this podcast, maybe. I don't know. But it was cathartic, therapeutic. I wept both nights during Ohms, not gonna lie. You know, it might be eclipsing Be Quiet and Drive as my new favorite song. It's that serious. But it was special. And for Deftones to bring Miguel and I together, a couple of guys who both got laid off in the pandemic, a couple of dudes about the same age, but not too many other similarities except to say that we love Deftones. Man, that's an amazing thing. Something I will always be grateful for. Grateful to Deftones. This is one of many conversations about our favorite band that I've had with my guy, Miguel Sanchez. All right, we're podcasting.
Yes, we are.
Look at us, dude. Finally.
In person.
The first time ever. It's really dope. I'm hungover. So this might be a slow start today.
Yeah, I guess it's a good thing this isn't on video.
You're a little green. You are.
Hella pale. Red around my eyes. Red in my eyes.
You look good though. You look like you're ready to see Deftones again tonight.
Oh yeah, I'll be great.
You're gonna be good to go. I think we just need a little hair of the dog, to be honest with you. When we get back to the crib, I'm gonna make a Bloody Mary for myself for sure, if that's what you're down for. We gotta get some food too. We gotta get like a burger or something. Because I'm
Juicy Lucy.
Yeah, you want a Juicy Lucy? Is that what you're down for?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can get a Juicy Lucy. I think we'll see if Wifey's up for a Juicy Lucy, or if not, we'll just go and get it ourselves. Yeah, man, I'm really excited about tonight, but I feel like the last show, like nothing's gonna be better than that. You know what I mean? Like I'm so glad that we sort of blew our load, so to speak, on the first show, and now we can like go into this last one with a little bit of I don't know, ease. You know what I mean? Could just sort of just relax and take it in, as opposed to like we were working that first one.
And I'm really proud of us because we're burly man. We're
old dudes. Yeah. We're old dudes.
And we held that motherfucker down.
We held it down. Dude, I was pleasantly surprised to see that everybody in the immediate area of us around in the pit were young people. For the most part, it felt like, at least they were. The dude next to you, Koo, 16, right?
Shout out to Koo.
Shout out to Koo.
16 years old, and when he took off his mask, he looked like a baby.
He did. He looked like he was like 12 years old.
Such a baby. Big Gojira fan. Bigger System fan, he said, right?
Yeah. It's funny. He likes the the European metal. That's cool. I'm down for that. What do we say? It's like, wow, you like a 20-year-old new metal band or 30-year-old new metal band, 16. I was like, that's cool. I also like new metal.
Wow.
All right, so let's talk about the drive. We made the drive. You flew out from LA to Minneapolis, and then the very next morning, like within 5 hours of you landing, basically, we got up and then we started the drive, the 5-hour drive from Minneapolis to Milwaukee, and we listened to Deftones the entire way. There and back, we listened to Deftones, the entire catalog, and as you pointed out, like somehow amazingly, like. We started it as we left, and then it finished as we arrived. Like we got back to Minneapolis as Ohms was finishing up. Like that was crazy. That was beyond coincidence, right?
It's a magical thing, man. And like I was telling you earlier, like I truly believe there's like some sort of universal spiritual power that plays into life and stuff like that. Like it's special, man. And I knew this was going to be special going into it, but I didn't think that 5-hour drive would feel like, I don't know, what, half hour at most, an hour. I remember looking at it, I'm like, okay, we have 5 hours left. Then I look at it again and I'm like, oh, it's 2.5 hours. I'm like, where'd the time go? Just chatting about our boys, I guess. Right?
I know, man. It almost feels like it should be tough to talk about Deftones for 10 hours straight, but we did it. And now we're going to try to like do it again. I'm sorry. We're going to rehash some of the stuff that we talked about, but but I want to talk about some of the things, because as we were listening to the albums, it was cool to talk about some of the things that were coming to mind in those moments. So I want to run down some of the things that were interesting to me, that some of the things that I can remember, because we talked about a lot of stuff on the ride, and I don't think there's a chance that we're going to remember it all. But some of the things that I thought were interesting, and maybe just doing it sequentially would be the easiest. Adrenaline, I feel like when we started listening to Adrenaline, like we were just excited. We were just geeked. And I don't remember if there was anything poignant other than to say, like, and this might have come up at the end of the drive, how at the front the bass lines were on Adrenaline. Mm-hmm. Like that stood out to me more than I think it had previously. I don't know. Was there anything else about Adrenaline that you recall from our ride?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the bass lines, like the groovy bass lines. And then I guess the common theme, obviously, and it starts early on in their career, the bop.
Yeah.
The bop.
The bop.
Thank you, Abe.
Yeah, I know, right?
The bop.
And that was something that I discovered, sort of jumping ahead here, I guess, to Saturday Night Wrist, was because I do have, I don't know, I guess if you asked me, like if you twisted my arm and you were like, what is your least favorite Deftones record, it would be Saturday Night Wrist.
Not Gore. Bastards. Haters.
But I think in listening to it with you when we were on the ride, like that, it occurred to me, I think it was because of tempo. Like I think tempo is my problem with Gore, like or with Saturday Night Wrist rather. There's not, that bop isn't really on that record. There's not a lot of bop to it. Yeah. And I feel like the flow of the album is funky. Like there isn't really like a bop until Pink Cell Phone, which I'm gonna bring the violence. Are you ready? Best song on the album.
Unpopular opinion. I do not condone that. But say it again, Robert. Make it clear. Make it clear what you said.
Hey, Pink Cell Phone is the best song on Saturday Night Wrist. Fight me. No, when
this guy chose violence.
It was funny when I said that. You were like, I could see you getting uncomfortable. You were like, hold on, man. Wait a minute. But then Kim Dracula comes on. And you're like, nah, that's not true. Kim Dracula is the best song on that album.
I'd love to talk about Saturday Night Wrist, but let's go. Well, I guess we're done with Adrenaline, right? Fire Ale, Fist. I mean, those are fucking. I guess those were. I think what we did talk about, those two songs were, that was kind of hinting into what they were doing. Like these guys weren't just like, oh shit, new metal band or like rap rock. No, these guys, there was something to them, and I think those two songs really were a good way to end the record. But also like, hey guys, we got some more stuff coming, but a little different.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, totally. And but they don't really do like a ton of that on Around the Fur. Like if you had to characterize Around the Fur, I would characterize it as a heavy album, I guess.
Heady, yeah.
Heady,
right? Yeah.
Sure. And you think maybe this is a good opportunity to jump into our favorite albums because I know Around the Fur is your favorite, and we were talking about flow too, like the flow of the album being. You compare it to Diamond Eyes. You compare Around the Fur and to Diamond Eyes. Was Diamond Eyes your second favorite?
So, I think when we were talking in the car, it was Around the Fur, White Pony, and Diamond Eyes. But driving over here, I have to say Around the Fur, Diamond Eyes, and White Pony. White Pony, for whatever reason, I think might be going down the ladder for me.
Just falling a little bit. I mean, when we listened to Diamond Eyes, it was abundantly clear, like, that is a flawless album.
I mean, Jesus, man. Like, that was...
Like, front to back, the track listing, it's just got such a... The flow of the album is perfect.
And I think also mentioning Saturday Night Risk, coming from that album into Diamond Eyes, I think it almost like... I mean, it just blows it up even more. I mean, it is a great album, but God, man, they really did a rebirth there.
Yeah. Saturday Night Risk. I don't know if I think about. I mean, obviously the whole rebirth, the Phoenix thing with Diamond Eyes is all true, but I never really put it up to Saturday Night Risk or put it in comparison or think about it as the album after Risk. But you have to. You really should. You have to think about it in terms of everything that they were going through in Saturday Night Risk, and then to come back with Diamond Eyes. Like it's crazy. It's remarkable, and it would be an oversight to ignore the fact that because Saturday Night Risk too. It feels again. There's no bop really until you get to the second half, late into the second half of the album. Pink Cell Phone, but then like it's a weird flow like through the first few songs, and I feel like it is basically like Chino being like fuck them, fuck all of this, and then like Rats is like and fuck you. I think I really do. I think he's like telling us like everybody can kiss my ass.
Yeah. So I gotta say really quick with I love like our connection with the band and stuff and like how we can share it. And I think we both love them for different reasons. And obviously, I love that bop, but you're all that's your thing, right?
Yeah.
Bop.
Yeah.
I love the darkness.
Yeah.
I love when they get dark. And to me, Saturday Night Risk, I think I was really just caught up with them. Like, oh, this sounds dark. I love it. It's great. But talking about the flow and really just kind of almost analyzing it, right? When we were listening to it, this fucking flow sucks.
Yeah.
Like it really does not, it's just kind of a downer of an album. Like I love that, but I also understand now why they got a lot of shit for so many years, I guess.
Yeah. And it's interesting to me how people have like been drawn back to it. Maybe that has something to do with like the way that we consume music anymore. Like we don't really consume albums, and people like they check songs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You play something on Spotify, maybe you play it on shuffle or whatever, and like I don't know, maybe that helps Saturday Night Risk in terms of its renaissance. You know what I'm saying?
That's a really great point. Yeah, because that's how people listen to music now. They shuffle it.
Yeah. Because you can just cherry pick. You could cherry pick Cherry Waves. You could cherry pick the songs that you wanna check and not like just experience it from front to back. No. Because when you do that, it's weird. It's a weird Saturday Night Risk in particular it's weird as hell. It's weird as hell. All right, Around the Fur is your favorite, Diamond Eyes, and then Pony. And I asked you, I was like, is there any difference between your favorites and what you think are their best albums? Because that's two different things, right?
Yeah.
And I think their best are ohms Diamond Eyes, and Around the Fur. And it's super crazy that I'm not including White Pony, but fuck it, it's my list. What you want to do? But I think that their best are ohms, Diamond Eyes, and probably Pony. Is that what I said? Or did I say no? I said my favorites.
Your favorites were self-titled.
That's right. I had self-titled at 3.
Right. But you said it's not on your best list because...
Right. Because Lovers.
Yes.
Because of Lovers, yeah. And that's the fact that Lovers exists and is not on the album and Lucky You is there is just, to me, that's just... It doesn't make sense, especially when, as you reminded me in the ride, like they were going to call the shit Lovers. They were going to call the whole album Lovers.
God, that would have been so great.
And that would have changed everything about the album, right? Yeah. Probably no Skull and Roses. You know what I mean? Like,
well, no, I could still see the Skull and Roses and then Lovers plastered on that.
Yeah?
Oh, for sure. Hell yeah.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if that makes sense to me. I don't know if it does. Maybe it does.
I mean, Lovers till the death, right?
Okay, see, that's why I like your gothy shit, man. You into that shit? That's what it is.
So I gotta say this. You brought up Lucky You. Listen, man. To me, Lucky You was Teenager on steroids and fucking hella goth.
Yeah,
the version of Teenager. So I love Teenager. I think that's a really great song. But when Lucky You came out, oh, dude, that vibe, man.
Yeah.
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 I mean.
But who's playing that? Who's
Crook? I think that's Crook.
Is that
right?
Crook?
Yeah,
that's a Crook beat.
I think so. Yeah.
That to me, that's not even like a Deftones song. Then you know what I mean? Like I don't even know if that makes sense. Like I'm not trying to hate on it. Like obviously I love the song and all of that, but I don't know. If you had 10 times out of 10, I would have picked Lovers to put on the album.
No, for sure.
And Lucky You is a bonus track. You know what I'm saying?
You know, okay, I can live with that.
That's the only reason I think that it doesn't make my list of their best.
Yeah. And I think that's, a really great reason. And I mean,
And Teenager, probably a reason, along with Pink Maggot, unpopular opinion coming, the reason why I probably don't have Pony in the top.
You know, I could have sworn you told me you like Pink Maggot. So I was really surprised.
I don't dislike it, but I don't, like, I also don't think the label was wrong when they were like, yo, this is a cool part, make that a pop song. You know what I mean? And the fact that I think Back to School is a fucking dope song. You know what I mean? Like, I think all of that sort of plays into it. I don't dislike Pink Maggot, but I don't listen to it. You feel me? Like, I don't really, like, if I'm putting on Pony, I'm going to listen to Korea. I'm going to listen to Fate. I'm going to listen to Street Carp.
So are you saying that you are listening to White Pony on shuffle?
That's a great question. What is my listening habit like? I guess maybe it's more the complete collection or whatever they have on Spotify, and then I'll poke around. Yeah. But I do also listen to the albums. I mean, I listen to them front to back often. But the ones I listen to front to back, especially these days, are ohms.
Yep.
And maybe that's it anymore. I don't know if I listen to any album like front to back anymore. That was the first time that I'd really listened to them all front to back in a minute.
That's dope.
I hadn't listened to the fucking whole catalog like that. I don't know when.
Yeah.
That's the glory of a long car ride, I guess.
Totally. What was I gonna say? So I think we might have talked about the flow of White Pony, and I feel this is kind of why I think Around the Fur is the better album, because I think it flows better than Pony. And maybe my opinion is skewed because when I first heard the record, a little before June 20th, before it came out, it was in a different order. Like, I think
right.
So Back to School was on there, and then Fedicera and Change, I think, was number 3.
Oh, really?
Which I liked it, like, in the beginning. I was like, okay, cool, get the single out of the way type of deal, right?
Yeah.
And then
third track is Digital Bath now, right?
Third track is Elite.
Oh, is Elite?
Digital Bath on this version was number 7. It was after Knife Party.
Fascinating.
And I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of get why digital was number 2. I feel like artists put like a bopping song at number 2. Like it's either going to be a single or it's going to be that one cut that everyone loves. Right? Like keep their attention type of deal. But I like Digital Bath, like in the end, like towards the end, like 8 or 9. I think it was after Night Party or Korea. I forget, but around there. It was just fucking awesome, dude.
That's really interesting. That's really, yeah. I can see that flow too from Night Party to Digital Bath. That's smooth. Yeah.
Wait, so Damone. Let's go back to Around the Fur really quick. Damone, MX Damone. Probably the 2 best closers. They're technically like a closing song, right? What
I mean, the only one that I would put over it would be Ohms. That's the only one that I would put over it. But yeah, I think those are the best closers of all their album closers. And that's the reason too. I think Diamond Eyes isn't number 1, is because This Place Is Death is that weird Deftones closing track, and I don't know that is a bad thing, but it's not, to me, is not that like fucking fist in the air that Ohms is. And that song is just so strong. It's such a strong way to end the album, such a statement. Like the other tracks leave you with more of a, I don't know, mysterious feeling or vibe, you know what I mean?
The other closing tracks?
Yeah, the other closing tracks, yeah.
Obscure is what they are. Like, they're different from the stuff on that album, on their respective albums. Like, first off, Boys Republic, which technically was on that limited edition, that was the closer. Oh, man. And it was different, right? It was still different, but, oh, man. So I put that shit on Spotify,
dude.
Deftones, please.
If you're going to pick 3 songs that are not streaming.
Lovers. Boys Republic.
And what's the third one?
Oh, man. This has got to be a good one. Probably Can't Even Breathe.
Yeah?
Yeah. Am I missing? There's one thing I'm forgetting.
Teething would be the one that I would choose.
It's not on...
I don't think so. Not on Spotify. Maybe it's on like fucking Apple or some bullshit, but it's on Tidal. I don't know.
My bad. Getting a little angry out
loud. Yeah, man. Lovers. They gotta put that shit out.
Yeah,
they gotta put that shit out. Okay. Something else I wanted to point out about Saturday Night Wrist was that I feel like it was the precursor to Koi no Yokan. And maybe this is more of a statement about Koi, but Koi felt like it was what Saturday Night Wrist was supposed to be. Like, it felt like Saturday Night Wrist, like, fully realized. And you made a good point about it being like Saturday Night Wrist without all of the bullshit being in the way. Like, without all of the drama and, you know, depression and the dark times and all of that shit. Because if you think about, too, the lyrical content of Koi no Yokan is really, like, upbeat. You know what I mean? And the songs are upbeat and they've got some tempo and they've got some bop to it, whereas all of those things are not Saturday Night Wrist.
Exactly. So, like, now that we're talking about it, self-titled Saturday Night Wrist, the darkest time of the band, right?
For sure.
Diamond Eyes, Koi, the most optimistic I've ever just felt from them. Like, just,
totally.
And that, I don't know.
Maybe that's because they were released so close too, which is another thing that you brought up, like the fact that these dudes usually take 4 years or so to drop an album.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think it's fair to say, like, well, that's not the case with Adrenaline Around the Fur, because they spent their entire lives creating Adrenaline.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then the follow-up to that is a different thing. And the greatness of Around the Fur, too, is a testament to the sophomore thing, like that, their ability to overcome the sophomore slump or whatever and put out arguably one of their best albums. That is a testament, I think, to Around the Fur and how fucking awesome it is.
And a testament goes out to White Pony, because, dude, these guys, you could have easily said they blew the fucking wad on Around the Fur.
Right.
God damn, right?
Right.
And what do? They're like, you know what? Let's make a left.
Let's put out our career-defining album.
Exactly. Right? It's like, holy shit. Like, crazy random turn into like artsy, like not what was big at that time. Like,
Yeah.
I love them for that.
Yeah, truly. And then to not make White Pony 2 with self-titled. Like, I feel like some people have made that comparison, like it's similar to White Pony, or they were able to continue as like, I don't think so. I feel like
Absolutely not.
self-titled feels like if they were giving you a massage, like a hot stone massage with White Pony, they just fucking smacked you in the face with self-titled.
They
You know what I mean?
brought out a fucking Theragun and like started just jamming it in your back. That feel good, motherfucker. I mean, Theragun's a great product, and I highly recommend it.
Something I thought that I said that was really eye-opening for myself while we were listening to self-titled was about Minerva and how that song has grown on me over the years.
Yeah.
And I think it's because like I hadn't experienced enough life and enough like emotional significant events to match the emotion of that song. And now that I'm a little older and I've had children and gone through a lot of different shit, just period, like now I feel like when those emotional highs of Minerva hit, like I'm able to meet the song there. Do you think there's any other, are there any other songs in the catalog that are like that maybe like they haven't connected yet because I don't know, because you just haven't come to them? Or
Well, first off, I want to say kudos to you, man, for recognizing like growth, man, and like you're growing, bro. You're evolving. Like,
I am. I'm trying.
That's. I mean, can you hear
Thank you.
that?
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, is there another? You know what? I think this is a good time to bring up gore. I don't know that people are truly appreciating it, and I think they will. And kind of similar, maybe to your thing with Minerva. But I guess to narrow it down to one specific song, is there a song that?
You know, maybe it is maybe it is gore as a whole, or maybe it's like a song from Prayers Triangles. Like, it's weird that they played that. Like, that was the song that they chose. They could have chosen any other. They picked 3 songs to play from Koino Yokan, but maybe Prayers Triangles is that song, or maybe it is a track off gore. I think we should spend some more time thinking about that too, because I hope people come around on gore.
If they came around on Saturday night, I think they'll come around on gore.
Yeah.
It's
That renaissance needs to happen.
Well,
And you said, who was the producer on that?
so Matt Hyde, who I believe was the sound engineer for possibly Diamond Eyes, definitely Koi, produce.
And they were trying to get Nick Rascalunas to do gore, but who knows, for whatever reason.
Scheduling, I'm sure.
And then, so they got
Matt Hyde?
Matt Hyde?
I believe Matt Hyde, yeah.
And you pointed out while we were listening to it, because I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between gore and ohms, but the low end is what you feel like is the difference maker there.
So, first off, we popped this album, and we were bopping.
Yeah.
There was a bop, right? And
totally.
we're like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, why don't people like this stuff? And truly, like I was saying in the car, like, I don't know that people know why they don't like it, but I think people don't like it because it is, the low end is missing completely out of that. Sergio was playing 6-string bass most of the time?
Sure.
Right? It just, there's no oomph. And even like a song like Doom User, which slapper, man.
Yeah.
Like, that is a badass song. The crunch is a different crunch.
Yeah, it's a different crunch for sure.
You take a crunch from Ohms and then the crunch from Doom User, way different crunches. Not as ballsy, you could say. But still, I mean, Steph's playing style, the way he's like, oh, yeah.
It would be really interesting. You made mention of it, like if they had picked a different song from Gore to play live, like they could have popped in Doomed User, and it would be really interesting to hear what that sounds like with that, with that crunch, with that low end. Like, they don't have to change tunings or whatever. Like, they could just play it as is. They don't need to be, because I don't know, Press Triangles had some of that, right? Like, when we saw it, it had
Select crunch.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of their stuff, like Rosemary, almost like it's crunchier and like so good. Like,
when it's live, it's
Change live. I always forget how great that song sounds live because it is a little, it's a little crunchier and just sounds so good. What was I going to say? So what was the order, the top, the first three at the show? I know we'll get to the show later, but it was
Genesis.
Well, first off, okay.
Yeah. No, let's just do it. Let's just jump into it. We'll talk about the show. We'll work backwards and then maybe talk about the sound check after. But yeah, the show.
So like we're listening to Chino's iPod. I'm pretty sure iPod or like they still make those things. We're listening to his track list or his playlist, for sure. Like and a lot of good stuff. There was one song that I managed to figure out what it was.
Oh yeah, do you remember what it was?
Tense or something. I got. Yeah. But anyway, so the playlist stopped and Pimp, the Depeche Mode song that they would play, well, that's most famously known for the intro song during the 101 tour. And I started fucking freaking out.
Yeah, you did.
Right? It's like, oh my God. Like, and that build,
yeah. It's such a cool... It was really neat to learn that that's what they walked out to on the Around the Fur tour. Did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But of course, obviously, that was in tribute to Fletch.
Yeah. So Fletch passed the day of the show. Which, God, what a bummer, man. And rest in peace, Fletch. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. He passed away that same day too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, tribute to him. And then they went into, once that song finished, they went into that Pompeii excerpt, right?
Yeah.
And then we hear Chino singing something. We're like, whoa. What's he saying? Into my little world, painful to me, pierce right through. Like, oh my God. I'm like.
You looked over at me and I was like, dude.
Yeah. And then to jump into Genesis right after. Holy crap.
Man.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I'm so glad that we did the thing, got there early, decided not to consume massive amount of alcohol and hold the rail, because getting to be that close is like, I'd never done it before at a Deftones show. I never tried to like hold the rail at a Deftones show, and man, could not recommend it highly enough. I would tell everybody and their mom, do that shit. I don't care if you're too small, whatever it is, get there and grab some real estate and hold it.
At least once in your life.
At least once.
Shit, what an experience.
And it's such a cool venue. The rave was, I'd never been there before. Wild, cool venue. But some limitations in that they couldn't fit the entire light setup in the ceiling. So they only had half of it set up above. But still like just a wild visual experience. This tour has been such a visual experience. All the way through, like, Digital Bath stands out in my mind, the way that it was like this rainbow of colors across the stage was insanely cool.
Sex Tape stood out to me. That was beautiful. It just matched like the lyrics and just the vibe of that song. Oh, so pretty, man.
And then I would be remiss if I did not recall two of the wildest live screams that I've ever heard in my life.
Chills.
You've Seen the Butcher, which both of these two, insane places to put screams. At the beginning of You've Seen the Butcher and then at the end of Rosemary.
Damn.
And dude, the way people lit up, like you could feel the entire crowd lift with the first notes of Rosemary.
No. The Koi got a really good reception. Like any Koi, the three?
The three, yeah. They played Swerve, Rosemary, and Tempest?
Tempest, yes.
Yeah. Wild.
Sheesh.
Wild, dude. Like, wild.
The setup for Rosemary, too, like, with the background. There's, like, lightning in the background. Like, it's just the lighting on that was amazing, too.
This tour was, like, made for some great photos. It was so hard to put my phone down.
Yeah. Trying to live the moment, but also...
holy shit. Yeah.
I got to get this on tape.
Yeah, man. Bananas to watch. And a couple other things I want to note, just having like been right there up front and seeing it. Lance, who comes out, pops back in it. Like he was doing the background vocals and an amazing job doing that. But he would like leave. He would, in the same song, he would come out, scream his ass off, and then pop back behind the amps or the monitors until he had to come out and do vocal again.
Yeah, totally. It's kind of funny. We were right in front of that side.
Right there, we were right there.
Saw it all.
And I was like, why didn't he just stand there? And you were like, well, he would have to dance.
Yeah, he'd be like a Depeche Mode backup singer. Like those ladies are dancing when they're not singing. It's kind of cool.
And I was like, man, well, I guess Lance don't dance.
Yep.
Lance don't dance.
We love you, Lance. I think
that dude held it down, man.
You're contributing a lot to the band. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Super cool to experience the new dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I wish when I was 10 I could jam with the band. What's he look like, 10, 12? He looks so young. He's a baby. So great. Baby.
What a fucking job. Like, what a cool gig to get.
Sheesh.
I want to know, did he have to put in an application? Did they?
Did you apply? What was that interview process?
What was the interview process like? Did he get contacted via LinkedIn? How did they hit him up?
Recruit him on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we would be it would be an oversight not to commend you on your new gig. This motherfucker got a gig. He got a job on the way to Milwaukee.
Wow.
And then we get there for the sound check, and let's talk about the sound check for a minute. They were running late. It was so we were standing outside for like an hour. Yeah.
I love you guys, but
no hate, not hating, but we know.
Damn it.
I had to boo, so as soon as we got in there, I was like, they were like, "Oh, you're gonna have a chance to use the restroom." I was like, "Word." So, the first thing I did was hit the head as soon as we got inside. But when we were inside and we were standing there waiting to like be told, like, "All right, we're gonna take you in," we heard Genesis. Dude, how crazy was that? That was like so dope to like hear it from the other room and like feel that noise.
So really quick with the rave setup, so different from any venue I've ever been. There's like
you got to go up to the floor.
Yeah, 3-4 different rooms. What? How many?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Yeah, we were waiting like kind of like in a bar / I guess little.
Is that like the
stage.
Eagles Club? Is that why it has like different? Maybe it's one is the rave and one is the Eagles.
Probably. Not sure, but yeah, really weird setup. So yeah, we're downstairs technically waiting to get in, and we hear fucking Genesis. They're like, let us in, let us in.
And that dude's talking to us, the dude with he's trying to show us both of his Deftones tattoos, and I'm like, talk.
I know, I guess I was kind of entertaining it too. I was like, dude, that's fucking cool. That's fucking cool. And like, little did I know, fucking Woody here was like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to listen to Genesis, dog.
Which, thank God, we did get to hear a little bit of it, because when we got in, we only heard 2 songs.
Yeah.
We heard Diamond Eyes first. We walk in, Juan's dapping up folks while he's working, and then it was cool to see Juan. I hadn't seen Juan in a minute, and like, I don't know, I don't know the dude or anything like that, but it's like, you know what? You see these faces over the years, and you're like, I don't know. It's exciting. It's something to look forward to see these dudes over and over again. You know what I mean?
Listen, man, a smile goes a long fucking way.
And that dude's got it, yeah.
He, like, obviously, I think me and my sister learned of Juan during the Hawaii DVD.
Is he on the Hawaii DVD?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Juan saved somene's hat, I think, in the volcano. Like someone's hat flew up, and he went to go get it.
Now that you say that, I remember that scene. Yeah,
like a loyal soldier.
I didn't realize it was him though. That's what's up,
Juan. And so when me and my sister would go to the gigs, we'd see Juan working, and we're like, "What up, Juan?" I swear, I think we were the first to do stuff like that, like, because he would look and then he'd wave and smile. Sweetest guy. And got to talk to him. Actually, I got a quick little story about Juan too. We got really close one time. They're like, "Juan, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And like my sister's standing next to me. I'm like, "Juan, my sister," and I don't know what to say. I'm just trying to make conversation. I'm like, "My sister wants Chino's chonies." And like, he took a double take, and he was like, "What?" He's like, "She wants them. Can you grab them?" He's like, "I don't know if you want. I don't think you want those." I was like, "Awesome, thanks, Juan. Later." Yeah, And my sister's just standing there like, motherfucker.
I know. I was going to say, what did she do? Did she smack you in the head?
Random stupid shit, but I'm
That's super funny.
just wanted to conversate with the guy because he seemed so sweet. And
Yeah.
When I saw him fist bumped him, I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, man, that was dope. It was dope to see him. Everybody runs to the front of the stage, and there's 30 of us. I mean, how often do you get to be in a room of 30 people and your favorite band is playing like that?
Dude. Well, okay, so when we got there, right when we got to the rail, they were playing something, and I still don't know what that was. They were playing something, and they stopped.
I thought it was the beginning of Radiant City.
Oh, my God.
Wasn't it? I feel like it was the beginning of Radiant City. And that's another thing. So, like, they're sound checking different shit. And then something else I wanted to mention is they brought the little mini keyboard out for Beware for the show, and they didn't play Beware.
So I heard they played it in Chicago yesterday.
Oh, they did? Oh, really?
They did, yeah. I was like, you fuckers. Yeah.
Wow. What a cock tease, though.
But here's the deal, though. Here's the thing. It's a give and take, right? Because the one song that got bumped off the list yesterday, Butcher.
Oh, word.
So I'm like, you know what? No, I like that I got to witness that Butcher scream. So
Man.
yeah, I'm good.
It was so long. He held that scream for the longest.
Shout out to Chino. He is on top of his game right now. To be at this point in his career, like years of doing this, he sounds so good right now.
Yeah.
God, so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he hit those notes in Butcher. That shit's high.
Yes.
I mean, when he gets that watch the world, like it's like I can't get there. That shit's so high.
I'm gonna attempt. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't. My voice is like, nah, fuck you, Jack.
We had some Purple Rains, I would though.
Oh shit, man, we should have got some Purple Rains. The first podcast that we recorded, we got drunk on them Purple Rains.
Holy crap! I might have said some stupid shit.
You might still yet today. Yeah. So we heard Diamond Eyes, and then they played Digital Bath.
Yeah.
And Chino maybe only sang the part where he needed the band needed the vocal cue. He barely sang at all. But like you said, I was okay with that. Like, they're sound checking. You don't need to sing. Save your voice for all that. And just to be like in that experience, like in their presence and hearing the instrumentation, and I didn't miss it. I didn't miss him singing the songs during the sound check like that.
So like when I guess they played Diamond Eyes first, right?
Yeah.
So once they kicked into that riff and that bass drum hit, and dude, I maybe because there wasn't that many people, like the sound just kind of traveled differently. The fucking hairs on my arms, the vibration. I was like, oh my God, I've never felt something like this at a show. Like, but 30 people. Like, where's the sound going? It's gonna fucking.
And you felt it like it was like a whole body, like whoop, 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 like your whole body felt that low end just coursing through.
Yeah. It's almost like they touched the G spot of sorts. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
You're like, what's up, G?
Yeah, like, goddamn. Shout out to Fred, man. Dude, Fred.
Oh, you shouted out, can I get some Joy Division?
So, like, message him, and he's super sweet, man. Like, super responsive. Appreciate that. But I was like, hey, man, fucking can't wait. Going to Milwaukee. This was the day before. I'm like, I'm going to be that dude requesting fucking Joy Division at soundcheck. And then he fucking laughs. He's like, ha, all right. And fucking soundcheck. Fred, play some Joy Division. Heard me. He fucking played it. Well, like a little snippet, but he fucking played it on bass. Dude.
What did he play?
Love Will Tear Us Apart.
That's so dope.
Yeah, and I think I could have sworn he caught Abe's attention, and Abe's like, "Whoa, what was that?" Like,
yeah.
And they talked for a little bit, and then they stopped. I was like, "Damn it!" I was hoping they'd fucking go into it. But that was great. That was
he sounds great too, by the way.
Low end bass playing, man. And,
yeah.
Not that Sergio wasn't doing that, because I'm sure it was required, right, for most of the songs. But man, Fred is holding it down.
Yeah. The whole band sounds phenomenal. Like, we've been talking about it, just back and forth leading up to the show, like, damn, that's really something. But man, when they're in front of you and they're bringing it, it's like, holy shit. Like, they just sound great.
So I might have digressed a little bit, but going back to your point with Chino not singing over stuff,
Right.
I fucking love when he kind of lets it ride like that, where, just let the music play.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that he kind of maybe oversins over stuff. I wish he would just let it ride like on record, right? He did it for Rosemary, like, I guess, after that break in the middle, and then like instead of going right into like time, no, he just I was like, oh, that's so good. And then so that's one of my favorite things about Soundcheck is like, oh, he's not even singing that. I love his voice. Love his voice.
Obviously.
I love his lyrics. I love him, but it's just nice that he does that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get to hear it differently, and it's cool to. That's part of I think the reason why I was like, we've got to go to 2 shows, is because it's different. It's, it might be the similar set list or the same song, but like you said, even Change in the House of Flies is a different experience live. I feel like My Own Summer, like I will never get tired of hearing My Own Summer live.
I may think it that I would,
right?
Not after.
As soon as that boom bop hits, man,
yeah, dude.
And then like, it's just such a next level feeling, like hearing those songs live. It's wild. Yeah. But the sound check was so rad. Like I would do that over and over again, even though it really does fucking eat like your whole afternoon. We were trying to get to the venue, then get out of there to go check into the Airbnb, and then get back. Like smashed a drink real quick.
Worth it.
Totally worth it though, man. Totally worth it.
And thank you again, because honestly, like I was not gonna purchase.
I basically held a gun to your head. I'm like, dog, you're going. You're not gonna fucking hang out at the Airbnb. You wouldn't have even been able to. You would have had to sit in the car.
The plan was, okay, like I know Robert's going to sound check. I was like, I can probably grab a couple drinks, wait for him and stuff. Oh wait, I mean, that's a lot of bread, dude.
Yeah,
like,
it is a lot of bread.
But you know what? Like, you were very persuasive. And honestly,
I just said YOLO, and you were like, that's the magic word?
YOLO. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Fuck it. Dude, that's code almost. Like, nah, fuck it. You got to do this. Yeah. And my wife, my sweet wife, like, I was like, how am I going to explain to her that I'm dropping, like,
a G basically on
the total for the trip.
For the whole trip,
And she's like, did you do it? I'm like, yeah, I got the sound check ticket just now. I was like a little after my birthday. She's like, how much was it? I'm like, oh, fuck.
She asked the question I didn't want to answer.
I'm going to get some shit for this. And she's not even that type of person. For whatever reason, my mind always goes there. But I was like, oh, it's like 4 or 5.
You said like, 4 or 5. You couldn't even tell it.
Yeah.
It was like 4 or 5.
She was like, you know what? Like, she's like, you don't buy yourself stuff. And I like when you do. And you know what? You need to treat yourself. Like, you deserve it. I was like, God, I love you so much. Like, she's so sweet.
And you literally had the best day. Like if I were to put together a string of events, like your day, the day in Milwaukee, got the gig, got the Joy Division, got a pick from Fred.
Yes, Fred came, yeah.
We rode the rail. You got a pick from Steph at the end of the night.
Well, actually, before that, Chino gave me 5.
And Chino smacked the shit out of your hand.
So the story goes, they were playing Ohms. This was towards the end of the show. He's coming our way. I was recording him the whole time because he was like by the rail, right? And he got closer and closer. And I'm like, oh my God. I can stretch my arm out. The story goes, Chino was looking right at Woody. And I'm like, Chino. And Chino smacks the shit out of my hand. You can hear it in the video. I will post that. And then he walks away, and I'm like, I look at Woody. I was like, he was fucking looking at you, wasn't he?
I did not see him looking at me. All I saw was he looked at you. He was screaming his shit out and then smacked the fucking, like, man, that was...
I had to analyze the video after the next day. I was like, okay, did he really just aggressively
broke it down like the Zapruder film?
Yeah, and it was a 5. That was a solid manly 5.
Yeah, it was.
I'll take it.
It was a solid 5 for sure.
I haven't washed my hands since.
Dude, it was so dope. I don't know if anything tops the experience of being front row at a Deftones show.
No, dude. And fucking, we like literally front, so fucking close. The lights were blinding me at times.
Oh yeah, they were totally. I was like, oh, I can't see. I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, that's bright. Sweet Steph, yes. Show was over. Sweet during sound check, I made eye contact.
Yeah, you did.
So this is me being a fangirl for sure. Like, made eye contact. I threw up the devil horns. Says what's up to me. Throws up devil horns. I'm like, that was for me.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
He was looking at me.
It was.
We made connection.
Yeah.
Like, and then I maybe made eye contact with him at the show once, but it was since we were on a certain side. It was more like, Chino, Fred. Show's over. Steph is like doing his due diligence, throwing picks to like each part of like, the rail, and
did not run off the stage. Yeah. He was hanging out, and Abe too.
Yep.
You saw Abe like quick sign the drum head and brought that out and started throwing out sticks and how rad.
Steph gets to our side and we make eye contact again. He's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, stretching my arm out. He fucking throws this pick. These picks are light as fuck. Like they're just kind of like, it's like trying to catch a fly, man.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, missed it.
I feel like he looked at you too. He's like, dog.
Yeah, no, he did. So I'm like, that was my fucking one chance, and I fucked it up. I look up again. He's like,
are you ready this time?
Gesturing that he was going to throw it again at me, and I was like, yeah. And I think this is a tribute to like me just trying to learn to live in the moment, because I literally made everything go in a slow motion at that point. I see this pick just fucking dangling in the air. I am living every fucking second of that moment. And then just stick my hand out. And fucking props to Steph, because I think that toss was perfection. I don't think I like moved my hand from where it was. And like I closed my hand, and I'm like, please, open it. The fucking pick's there. And I think he asked me, did you get it? And I was like, I got it. Wow. Right?
You killed it, dude. You killed that whole day. We can't forget too, you caught some Gojira shit and you gave it to Koo.
Koo, so cool. Sweet Koo, man. I mean, I was like, shit, what a cool kid. And yeah, so he got a drumstick, right, first?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a drumstick, which was awesome. And then, like, I don't know who these bouncers are going to give stuff to. So I was like, well, I haven't asked for anything. Fucking pick was thrown out. He, like, I made eye contact with the bouncer, and he's like, here. And I'm like, awesome. And, like, who's, like, probably like, oh, cool. And I'm like, hey, man, this is for you. He's like, oh, man, thanks. Oh, man. Like, super sweet kid, man. Even towards the end, like, at the end of the show, he was like, hey, man, thank you again. And I'm like, no, man, thank you.
Yeah,
you
dude.
Keep fucking rocking, man.
Yeah, dude.
You're awesome.
That was hero shit, dog. That was hero shit, dude. I'm sure Koo is like, he's going to have a whole different experience of, or approach to like going to a show. Mm-hmm. When you go, and especially after, like, we had to stand there basically for like an hour and a half before Gojira hit the stage. Like they opened the doors for us. We were the first ones they brought in. And man, we were there you went off to get drinks. You came back. I knew everybody's name and shit. I was like, we're gonna be here together. I'm gonna fucking make some friends.
This is Patrick. This is cool. I was like, yes, this is what we need to do.
But that was dope. Like having that, experience in that community, and that's a great thing about, I think, Deftones shows in particular, man. Yeah. Like you see a lot of the same people at the shows.
Oh, no.
No, you good?
I'm just burping. No, I puked everything I needed to puke out.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I'm going to have to add that to the context of the intro. Like, we were pretty hungover when we recorded this.
I mean, at least I have a sexy voice right now. So, but that's my hungover voice.
It's really. Hungover voice. Yeah, man, the people were great. Just, I can't say enough. And I absolutely have to encourage everybody who wants to go check a Deftones show, like, spend that money. If you get that opportunity, it's not a cheap ticket for sure.
Save your money.
Yeah, put your bread together though and do that thing, because
worth it.
It's so worth it, man. It's so worth it to just to have that memory now. That's gonna last a lifetime. That's I'm not gonna remember the set list forever or what they didn't play or what I really want them to. All of that shit doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So good.
It was just amazing, and we could fucking do it again tonight.
And we get so much more flexibility. We
Yeah.
go wherever we want.
We get to just chill. Not gonna have to like squeeze the fuck out of the rail so that we don't get. Because that, I'll tell you what, you gotta have some strength, at least a little bit of strength to maintain while you're on the rail. But the whole weight of the audience against you, it wasn't like as painful as I sort of anticipated. You know what I mean?
Definitely get in some shape if you plan on riding the rail.
Yeah. My triceps, I think, are still a little bit sore from fucking hanging on. You know what I mean? When
Dude,
you're getting jerked back and forth and shit.
I was gonna say, dude, you're looking.
Oh, I'm jacked.
You're looking jacked right now, man. That Laker jersey.
I'm Lance Jackman.
Oh,
I am Jackman, dog. And I dance. I told you too how the chick at the show was like, "You're a good dancer," and I was like, "I know."
Moving hips and shit. I'm like, God damn, Lord.
We have to talk about some of the stuff that we recorded from the first podcast. And then maybe, I'll put that shit out, some behind the scenes episodes later or something. But I want to make sure we talk about the Hexagram video.
Yeah.
So let's tell me about that experience.
So, God, how did we even find out? Well, it was me and my sister. My sister was my Deftones road dog. That's cool. So, luckily, she loved them as much as I did. But I don't know where we found out, man. But we just showed up to Simi Valley. Oh, I guess suburb sort of of LA. It's still LA, whatever. But we go. It's at a skate park, which was really cool, and a bunch of people were already there. It was hot as fuck, dude. It was in the valley. So, yeah, they came out. They made some announcements, and then finally let us in. And basically, the setup was the band was kind of in the middle of the skate park, and we all circled around the band. And there's I have a little clip of me flicking off the camera, of course, walking into the skate park. But, dude, we were close, obviously, like at the show. I was standing right behind Abe. Like, I could literally pat him on the back. It was wild. Yeah.
That's the coolest shit ever.
Some highlights, dude, Abe, we were joking with Abe. We were like, hey, man, because Chino was wearing, I guess, a pink shirt with a sweater over it, but the collar was sticking. I was like, once again, I don't know what to say to these guys. I just want to make conversation.
Yeah, just anything.
I was like, Abe, what's up with Chino wearing that pink shirt? I'm so dumb, dude. I swear. I need to write questions down or whatever. He was like, well, you know Chino. Chino's delicate little flower. He's like a delicate little flower. And, just the way he talks.
Dude, you're spot on Abe impression, by the way.
And, we were giggling and stuff. My sister's funny because she doesn't really talk. Like, she's just in total shock the whole time. Yeah. So it's like she doesn't really say anything. And, this goes to, even other experiences where we've met the band. And, yeah, it's hilarious. But, and then she was obviously there at the video shoot and drinking out of a red Solo cup. And got to talk to him. I was like, gee, what are you drinking, man? He's like, Gatorade vodka. I was like, oh, yeah? And I was like, can I try it? He's like, sure. I drank at a cheese cup, dude. This is all obviously pre-COVID and all that stuff, but even if we were in the middle of it, I'd still fucking do it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And
was it purple Gatorade?
So it wasn't purple Gatorade. I'm pretty sure it was red or orange. It was one of those two, but I remember.
So it wasn't a purple rain. It was like a red rain.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. And I don't remember it tasting magnificent, but I was drinking out of a cheese cup, so I think that's what really made it taste good.
Yeah, dude.
So that was cool. Chino was really more to himself. I remember during the shoot, so we didn't get to really say anything or talk to him. Steph, I think same thing. It was just kind of mellowed up, but it was cool, man. It was a fucking great experience. Do you
remember how long you were there?
I mean, most of the day, for sure. Yeah, got there
Did they play the song? at all?
No.
Or was it just playback?
It's just playback. Yeah, they didn't play nothing.
But still,
connected.
like, Abe's beating the shit out of the drums. And
yeah, dude.
how cool is that?
Right there.
Right there.
Man. It was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of it. Then we all left. But great experience for sure.
So that was 03.
03-ish. Yeah.
You had been a fan for 5-6 years at that point then?
Yeah, so 98.
And your first experience with the band was Ozfest that year.
Yes. So basically I heard Be Quiet and Drive on K-Rock, which they didn't really play it all that much. So I just happened to be lucky. Like I was at home and I was like, what is this? And yeah, Be Quiet and Drive was playing. And I was like, they better say it. Sometimes they don't say like what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh my God, please tell me. They're like, that was Deftones, Be Quiet and Drive. I was like, Deftones, Be Quiet and Drive. Okay, I'm tracking this album down, right? Like,
Yeah.
And my friends, we were in a band, like no biggie, right? But like we were all just like, hey man, have you heard this? And specifically me and my buddy Paul, and it was we were fucking obsessed. We were, oh my God, we got to see them. Ozfest comes around the next year, 99. We're going. We're fucking going. We're making a fucking road trip. It was like 4 of us, and it was great. It was a great experience. It's a long, we lived in LA, so we drove to San Bernardino. That's like a fucking hour and a half, 2-hour drive or whatever. But yeah, we saw a bunch of fucking bands. Dude, System before they blew up.
Yeah.
We saw them. Primus. We saw fucking Primus. That was
awesome.
Amazing. And fucking Slayer. Slayer actually played before Deftones, so we were like, what? When are we ever gonna fucking experience something like this? Slayer and then Deftones? Fuck yeah. Slayer, wild, dude. Fucking chairs were being like, I guess, like not tossed on the stage, but just passed along on the stage from the pit. Like I was like, and we were in the lawn, so I was like, what the fuck is going on? There's one fucking intense Slayer dude with like a sleeveless like denim jacket, like, yeah. It's like, we're safe, yeah, we're good, right? I mean, we were young, right? But
Yeah.
fucking Slayer blew out the speakers, at least the lawn speakers, because when Deftones came on, it was kind of in and out, and you're so far, like there's a delay with like the sound.
Yeah.
You see Abe snap the snare, but like, God, like 2 seconds later,
It's like
it's like, fuck, being a drummer too.
totally.
But still, we were just so fucking stoked that we were seeing at that point. That was our already like they had become our favorite band, and we got to see the White Pony, aka which would later be known as Korea.
Yeah.
Which, damn, dude, that was fucking cool. The tempo was faster. Obviously, there was really no lyrics, but God, that was so
That's
awesome,
crazy.
man.
Was this and they had did they have the big red backdrop on that tour?
Yeah.
On that?
Yeah, they had that. Chino was in, what is that, a gi? Is that what you call it?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. No, I
Shit,
don't.
my
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
But it was when he was doing that, the Asian, like he looked like
Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
type of deal,
like that
That's
shit
dope.
was dope.
Hell yeah, it was dope.
What a cool first show or first Deftones show.
Yeah, I mean,
Even
I
if
wish
it-
I was closer.
Yeah. now you know.
Yeah, no.
Or although you might have been with that big denim fucking Slayer fan up there, he might have tossed your ass on stage.
Yeah, no shit. God damn. Yeah, no, it was, and it's like, I've been saying this all weekend, full circle, man. So, my first show, fucking lawn. My last recent show, right on the fucking rail,
Yeah, man.
baby. Yeah.
Fucking crazy. That was I hands down the coolest experience. I don't care what, if they play Lovers Royal, they play fucking Boys Republic tonight.
Oh my God.
None of that's going to be as cool as, well, that would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
But being up there and riding the fucking rail like that's
Special.
yeah, man, that was. But you've had some other pretty fucking special experiences. You saw them at the Roxy.
So yeah, this, I remember this clearly. They were doing a release party for Self-Titled, so I hadn't come out yet. K-Rock was sponsoring it, and basically like, win tickets. And as soon as I hear that, like, win tickets, I'm like, fuck, they're not selling them. Like, damn it, I'm not gonna fucking win tickets. So, I was like, well, fuck it. How do you enter or whatever? Do I have to call? And they're like, basically, so we're giving away Deftone tickets to the Roxy. Just show up to the Wiener Schnitzel in Huntington Beach, like Orange County or something. A fucking Wiener Schnitzel? I mean, I love me some chili cheese fries, don't get me wrong, but I was like, okay. And, at the time, I was dating this girl. She had a van and stuff, and basically I discussed it with her. I'm like, I want to fucking do this, and I think we can, like, get there hella fucking, like, well, we can get there the night before. Let's park in the fucking parking lot. You got a van. Let's just sleep in your van. And she was like, and she was from Sacramento, so like she knew about the Deftones,
yeah,
and she liked them and stuff, and she was just like, but obviously not as obsessed as I was, but she was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. That sounds cool. I'm like, hell yeah. So we fucking drove the night before, found the Wiener Schnitzel, and fucking slept in her van. And then and I was kind of nervous because I was like, well, I have to get up and line up.
Right.
I can't just be like, because I don't know, some motherfucker be like, no, you weren't in line.
Right.
So, like, I don't know if I really slept that night. I was probably waking up every 2 hours. Like, I was ready. Yeah. And then I got up and I noticed some people coming up. I'm like, nope. But I slept in my clothes for sure. Like, there's no way. Like, I wore pajamas but yeah, I ran out of the van. And I was like, hey guys, what's up? Like, hey, you here for the show? Yeah, I'm here. I was here first. Oh, okay, cool, man, cool. We'll just line up behind you. I was like, yes, yes. I'm like, oh yeah, my girlfriend's in the van, so yeah, she's with me. I'm like, okay, cool. So basically, they came out and they're like, all right, cool, man, we're giving out tickets. So what you got to do is put a K-Rock sticker on your car, and we'll give you 2 tickets to the show. And my little road dog, my sister, I was like, oh man, because that second ticket was gonna go to this girl, right? She drove, like, fuck yeah, like, I can't
not take her. Yeah. Hey, appreciate you letting us sleep in the van, but you can't come to the show.
Yeah. But the sticker's on my car. Yeah,
no, it's not yours.
So basically,
it's my van now.
I was like, I gotta figure. I'm like, fucking wheels are turning, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to figure something out. I really want my sister to go, like, to this.
Yeah.
So what we had noticed, when we woke up earlier, before anyone got there was this blue car there. I don't know if maybe one of the employees, like, getting rid. It's a blue car there. Nobody came in. It definitely wasn't a person that was there for the tickets. So I was like, okay, I got an idea. So basically, they give us the stickers, like, okay, put it there. So I took the sticker, and I'm fucking lame because I was like, well, I'm gonna put this on your van. Like, are you down to? I was telling the girls, like, you down to put it there? I don't know if it'll fly. Like, what if, like? So I'm just like, listen, I'll just put the sticker on your van, and if you can, yeah. I'm such a pussy, God. And not that pussy is weak; they're strong, and no, I'm weaker than that. Anyway, yeah, don't me too me, please. Me too me. So basically, I put the sticker on her van. They're like, great, awesome. I got 2 tickets. I'm like, okay. 2 more. So then I look back and I see this girl, and they give her a sticker. Like, okay, you next. She walks up to the blue car, puts the sticker on the random ass blue car. Who knows? And I'm just like looking at it, and this is also one of those living in the moment, slowing everything down. Like, are they gonna do it? They gave her the 2 tickets. We got 4 tickets.
Dude, that's the dopest shit ever.
Oh my God.
I love that you had her put it on the random car.
Like, why not let her put it on her fucking car?
And you go do it to the rental car. That would have been so funny, dude. You would have got busted though. The person would have popped out of the back seat or some shit. If you would have done it.
She was so like, yeah, I'll do it. Boom. No fucking fear. I'm such a...
Shout to her though, man.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
So your sister got to go...
Yes.
Too, man. That's
to the Roxy.
Was she fucking so stoked when you said you got her the tickets?
Yeah, she was.
I bet she was.
Oh man, I think she brought her boyfriend at the time, so it was just us 4. And I think this was actually the first show where I was able to drink.
Oh, word, sure, yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because I wasn't really going to a lot of shows, but like, dude, I was like, I can buy a fucking drink.
Yeah.
So Which, now that I think about it,
because you got drunk.
That show was a little blurry. I can't tell you. Like, they did play Good Morning Beautiful. I remember
that's dope.
very clearly. Yeah, I don't think they played it that much. They played Battle Axe, which, goddamn, man, I've seen that a couple of times, luckily.
And the Roxy's small.
Very, very fucking small. Up until that point, I was like, I'd seen them at the Palladium. I saw them at the amphitheater, the Taproot. The Taproot Incubus show. And then at that point, I was like, oh my God, where do I even go after this? Like this, I saw them at the fucking Roxy. And we ran to the Tower Records that's now closed in Hollywood because they were doing a signing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that.
So they were doing a signing. I didn't really like interact or ask questions. There was a signing that I did ask, I think, a great question now because it's always nice, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, I just remember saying what's up to them. I'm like, I love you guys. Like, and with Chino, I was like, I had a disposable camera, and I was like, hey man, can we take a picture? He's like, sure. So I've shown you this picture before, right? Like, take like sort of a selfie, right, with a disposable camera, and like I'm just like really bad angle of me, like my double chin and shit. And then Chino, fucking. Like one eye closed. Yeah. When I open, I'm like,
it's such a weird blink. Like, and I have a similar weird blink. So I have some pictures like that, and it's just like, this picture sucks.
But I was like, I remember developing them, and I was like, motherfucker. I was like, damn it, this isn't. Oh,
he had a wincy eye. The one time you get a picture with the band, he's got like hot sauce in his eye.
And I would never like post that or, like whatever.
It's just not a cool photo. Let's just be honest. It's a cool story, but it's not a cool photo.
Well, I don't want to be a dick. I don't know. Hey, it's me and Chino. Chino doesn't look that great, but it's me and Chino. Like, no. So yeah, that was cool. We got our stuff signed. I still have that CD, the cover
signed
signed.
CD.
Yeah.
God, that's awesome. When you can. When you put your will together, you could bequeath that to me.
All right. Oh, that or my son.
Yeah, I guess you could probably give it to your son.
What was I gonna say? I still have the stub too. That I should take a picture of and send it to you.
Man, that's
the Roxy stub. Yeah, I still have that.
So sick.
Just fucking ticket stub. Awesome. Yeah, that was really fucking cool.
The other one that you the other signing that you went to was for Saturday Night Wrist.
Yeah. So B-Sides came before Saturday Night Wrist, right?
Yeah.
So really quick with B-Sides, they were touring and they were going to play the House of Blues. I hadn't seen them at the House of Blues. And one of my buddies actually got me tickets. He's like, here, I got these for you. I was like, oh my God. It was like 2 tickets. My son's mom was pregnant with our son at the time. She was far along, maybe second, maybe going into third trimester. And I was like, hey, I got tickets. And she wasn't really a fan. I think she even mentioned, like, oh, yeah, this guy dated. You still like that? I'm like, whatever. I don't care. Fucking Deftones. I'm like, I got tickets to go to the Roxy. And this was at a time where it was just like one of those, that type of relationship. Like, we're going to go everywhere together. Like, and, like, that's not sustainable.
No, it's not.
But, we were.
You're young. What are you going to do? She was pregnant.
Yeah.
And it was at the Roxy? That show was at the Roxy too?
House of Blues.
Oh, it was House of Blues.
Yeah. So she pretty much, I don't want to say made me. I could have really just like gone. But she was just like, I'm not going. Like, I'm pregnant. Like, I don't want her son like listening to that. And I was like, what? I do. Like, I want him rocking. Like, I want him to love this stuff. And and I got a funny story about that. Well, eventually how he would turn out, which pretty awesome. He's an awesome kid. So yeah, she made me sell the tickets. And I was like, fuck, I've never seen him at the House of Blues. Like, damn it. So we went to the show. So I was like, well, okay, fuck it. Let's go to the show and sell the tickets there, hoping that something would change her mind. She'd be like, you know what? Let's go in. It's okay. No. She was like standing firm on it. No, we're going to sell these tickets.
Whack.
Found a couple, and I think I sold them face value, like maybe even a little less. And it was one of those deals, right? Like I gave them the tickets, they gave me the money. And I see them walking and they look at each other's eyes and they're just like, we got it, babe. We got it. We're going in. And like they hug, they kiss. And I'm just kind of like the whole time watching them. And I'm like,
I'm gonna punch my baby mom in the face.
Yeah, and it never got to that, for the record. But I was so heartbroken.
Yeah.
I was like, and like, my son, my unborn son, like, I want him to listen to this.
Yeah.
Like, so, we're kind of lollygagging around and stuff. And I think this might have been before I actually sold the tickets, but we ran into Chi. Chi was right, because we were right outside the bus, and we ran into Chi, and I was like, oh my God. I'm like, Chi, what's up, man? And he's like, hey, what's up? I wasn't talking to Chang. I was talking to Chi, because he was super fucking sweet, like the sweetest guy, and talked for a little bit. And then I'm like, look over to my son's mom, like, hey, so this is my son's mom. Like, she's pregnant with my first son, like my first kid. We didn't know we were having a boy or girl. And he was like, oh, cool. I swear this happened. He I think he rubbed her belly. Like, he rubbed her belly. And she's like, oh, cool. Like, for a split second, I was just like, Chi just blessed my son.
That's
like,
so cool.
What the hell? And like, and I'm thinking, okay, like, this experience was great. Like, I think we can find a scalper and rebuy some tickets. Like, nah, dude. She was like, no, let's go. I was like, fuck. And that was that. And that night, I looked up the set list. They played fucking If Only Tonight We Could Sleep. The one time, I think, other than that one MTV show. Fuck, that hurt a lot. Yeah. Still does.
Yeah.
The Saturday Night Wrist signing. So that was right after B-Side. We got to go to Hollywood and Highland. The Virgin, there was a Virgin Megastore. I think the Hard Rock Cafe is there now, but they would do all these cool like in-store performances and signings and stuff. So we got to stand in line, and and at this point, my son's mom is into it. Oh yeah, no, they're great, they're cool. Man, fuck them. Yeah. She's there with me, of course. Like, we're in line, we're getting ready to see them. And they played Beware, they played Rapture, Hole in the Earth, of course, and that was really cool. And then, we got in line, they're gonna sign our shit, and I was like, I got a question for these guys, and it's not a stupid one. So each member I asked, hey, what's up? I love you guys. Hey man, what's your favorite track off this record?
That's such a great question. That's such a cool thing to ask. What a cool thing to ask on the release. You hadn't heard it yet, had you? Maybe.
Actually, I have a sweet story about that too.
Yeah.
About the first time I heard Saturday Night Wrist. Sorry, I'm rambling.
No, yeah, that's good.
This is great. My sister, my little road dog, she was we were gonna go on a hike of sort, or to these stairs. And on the way over there, she's like, hey. And, usually I was the one with the leaks and stuff.
Right.
Like, hey, I got this. Like, check it out. She came to me this time and was like, hey, I got it. I was like, what do you got? I got Saturday Night Wrist. I'm like, no, you don't. It doesn't come out for like another month or two. No, I got it. You want to listen to it? I was like, fuck yeah. Like, oh, should we even still hike?
No, I don't want to listen to it. Hell yeah, I want to listen. Pop that shit in.
I'm like, should we still hike? So, like, we're listening on the way. And so, I think at this point we had already heard Hole in the Earth. That was the first track. This is how I remember it. She was like, listen, I'm going to skip it to this song. I was like, which one? She's like, just listen to it. So it was drums kicking, really mellow, fucking Cherry Waves. And she's like, wait for it. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm digging this though. She's like, no, wait for it. And then like, the way it sucks. She's like, you and your eye. And then she points. She's like, if like you. Oh my God, dude. Butterflies in my stomach. I still remember that feeling. Yeah. I will never forget that experience, and I'm really happy that I got to share that with my sister, because she was the one showing me. Yeah. Right? Like, oh man, I love that song.
That's so cool.
And yeah, like I said, and I think to the detriment of being like this fangirl, right? This fanboy. It's like I ignore the fact that it wasn't a great flowing out. And maybe I just wasn't analyzing it at the time. Just so excited to release.
Yeah, just trying to hear it.
Like stuff, right? And but yeah, that was just.
You told me a funny story about going out of a venue or walking out of a spot, and you saw these like big heavy ass metalheads singing that, like
Yeah.
you.
So like the Palace. We went to
the
the
Palace.
Palace. Yeah. And God, I don't know what it is now, but that's off of Vine, right by the Capitol Records. And yeah, no, that was a great fucking show. And as we were walking out, fucking these big burly motherfuckers, like they're fucking metalheads and stuff, right? Like Hispanic guys, really metaleros, I guess you call them or something. But it's fucking just like drunk and singing it. You sit down. I was like, man, Chino got these metalheads swooning right now.
Right,
man.
right.
That's dope.
That's super dope, man.
Yeah.
Everybody feels that shit.
Oh man, that was great. Yeah. So that was great too. That was a good experience.
So what did they say their favorite songs were?
Oh yeah, shit, dude. So cool. Frank said "Combat" was his favorite song off the record. Mr. Chi Chang, he said "Rats, Rats, Rats." I was like, that caught me by surprise. I was thinking it was going to be maybe one of the more mellow ones. I was like, okay. Abe, Chino, Cersei's. They're like Cersei's. And I asked Steph, thinking "Rats, Rats, Rats." Steph said Cersei's as well.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know if I'd heard Cersei's. Then I probably, but I love Cersei's too, man. Like that song is beautiful in my eyes. I know you think it's like breathing. It's like breathe on the mic too much for you. But you know what? No, I love it.
It is. It's he's very breathy on it. But I think that just hearing how much that the fact that they all said that was it, like that's really.
Mm-hmm.
It points to me like we talk about how they bring these 5 different perspectives and styles together, and like that is what creates such an interesting dynamic in the songs. But what it points to me is they might have these different things that they bring to the table, but they still share like the mutual like love and maybe share an aesthetic and like what they like they have the same tastes, you know what I mean?
Totally.
And that's, I don't know, for some reason I feel like that hints at that, you know what I mean? The fact that that 3 out of 5 of the dudes pick the same song, like that's interesting to me. That points to the fact that like these dudes have a lot in common.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They share a lot of the same, obviously life experiences and all of that, but for them to all point to the same song, like that's dope.
No. Oh yeah.
That's dope as hell.
I agree.
All right, well then we have to wrap up the podcast the same way we always wrap it up, and that is with a request for recommendations. What do you think, man? 3 things, anything?
Yeah. So one of same thing I said last time. Neurophones. These headphones are amazing, man. I highly, highly recommend them for any audiophile or just like if you just like getting lost in music, man. They're like over their ear, in ear, like
Trippy.
hybrids. Yeah. And what happens is it adapts to the way everyone listens to music differently. So it adapts to the way you listen to it, like whether you catch higher, like end, lower end, like it knows it somehow, right? Like it sends like a ping, and then your ear responds, and then it takes that information, creates a profile for you.
That's wild as shit. Are they really expensive?
What are they? 300, 400 maybe?
All right.
But
I'm gonna ask my wife. My Father's Day is a couple weeks away.
Dude, yeah, they have in-ears now, but I would recommend
the full, yeah.
So
otherwise, you're not like getting that immersive experience, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, for Bluetooth too. Like, wow.
Oh, really?
Impressive. Yeah, they're
dope.
Bluetooth. Yeah, they're Bluetooth.
Oh, sick.
So good. Yeah. With the option of connecting a jack and stuff.
That's good because source audio is as important as,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
Even though I'm still gonna just stream it on Spotify. I don't care.
Yeah. Let's see.
Sorry, vinyl fans.
Yeah. Book wise, God, I mean, during the pandemic, I was feeling pretty down, unemployed and stuff. But I was reading. I don't read a lot, and I wish I did. But yeah, what was the book I sent you? What was the name of the book? It's a good book.
Oh man, it was a really good book too.
God damn it! Oh,
and I read that in like 2 days.
Yeah.
It took me like no time to read.
My wife gave me this book to read about a baseball player who's struggling, couldn't make it to the big leagues, in the minor leagues, meets this manager, and the manager kind of just points out certain things. You know, this guy's being super like negative, you know, like to himself mainly, and you know, it's kind of deterring like what he wants to do. Like you know, we get so caught up. Like I want to do this, but like we're shitting on ourselves on the way to that goal. It's like, nah, man, you can't live like that. You gotta be positive. Gotta be good to yourself.
It's such a good story. The feeling that you get, like the confidence that you get just by sort of being like, yeah, like this fucking makes sense. I'm trying to fucking Google it right now and I can't find it.
Oh my God, I feel so. I don't remember the title of this book.
That's all right.
So
I'll look it up and then I'll add it at the end. I'll put it on at the end.
What's the third thing? I think we all need to be really good to each other. Respect, right? I think Chino says that a lot, right? Like respect, like, and we really should be kinder to each other, no matter race, sex, like dude, we all got stuff going on, you know, like, it's like, we're all technically brothers and sisters, man. Like, let's just be good. Like, one love.
That's what's up.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Not being cheesy either. I really do mean that. And I just, when I'm in a good spot, when I'm in a good positive spot within myself, like this weekend, spending time with you, with your fam, like, dude, it just means the world. I mean, my wife's missing. I wish she was here to share that. But I'll get to see her tomorrow. That'll be fun. But be good to each other, guys.
That's what's up. And listen to Gore.
Yeah, and be good to Gore, motherfuckers.
Love you, dog.
Love you, man.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
So you might have noticed us allude to it a couple of times. This was actually not the first podcast Miguel and I recorded together. The first one was on Zoom, and we drank Purple Rains and got hammered. Purple Rains, by the way, are Gatorade and vodka. It's a drink Deftones created. It's not delicious until you have like 3 of them. Then it's fine, or kind of good. But we talked about some of the same things you heard here, some of Miguel's experiences with the band. And that conversation will forever be sacred to me. Because truly, like, how many people can say they recorded one of their first conversations with one of their best friends? It's pretty amazing. And you know what? Similarly, next week, my guest is author Stone Abdullah. And the conversation you're going to hear, again, not the first conversation we had. He and I spoke for the first time about a year ago, but a lot's happened since then. So we talked again recently, and next week, for the first time on this podcast, we're going to talk about Sergio and his departure from the band. And we're going to talk about erotica, because this podcast desperately needs a couple of dudes talking about Deftones and sex and whatnot. So make sure you're listening. It's going to be fun. Once again, I'm at Woodbra on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to get at me, talk about Deftones, tell me your amazing story, hit me with your recommendations. I would love nothing more. Thanks again to Miguel, my dog for life, and to you for taking the time. Thank you for listening to Deftones, and thank you for listening to Change in the House of Pods. This is a little bit of You've Seen the Butcher from the show in Milwaukee.